Oh, thank you there, Johnny. Appreciate you, man.
No problem.
I know on these slow nights here kind of be challenging, but you know, I think it's important that we always show up no matter what. And I think that, you know, coming to a room like this, even when there's not anybody here or not very many people here, you know, we don't do this. I mean, we do it for the laughs and so forth, but I think, like you said, it's very therapeutic. And so to be able to get up here and just kind of express yourself and share things, I think is very important. You know, so shout out to you, Johnny, for doing that. I appreciate that. You know, you mentioned something about, you know, white schools. And so I grew up in New York, right? And I'm from Mount Vernon.
Nice.
And so Mount Vernon it's like right on the edge of the Bronx, but then it's like the beginning of White Plains. And so I was out there with my grandparents, and they were like, you know, we're gonna put you in a good school. And so they sent me to a few schools. And the first one was like pretty much an all-white school. And I will never forget, let me give you a little bit of background. So my dad was a Black Panther.
Oh, so that's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and I grew up in a Muslim household. So my dad had actually changed my name from Michael to Jabulani when I was like 6 years old, but he didn't do it legally. So when I went back to New York, I couldn't go by that name, but I had grown up like for you know, my formative years as Jabulani, which means be happy. So as I go to the school in Bronxville, New York. Now, if you don't know where Bronxville is, which most people don't, it's about 35, 45 minutes outside of the actual Bronx, right? And so it was a private school, it was a Lutheran school. And you know, back in New York, it's all about usually the religious schools are like the best schools because they're the most strict. And at the time, discipline and being strict was the most important thing. And so as I'm in this school, I'm like, yo, that's third grade for me. And as I mentioned, okay, so I wasn't the only Black kid. There was one other Black kid. But I never really remember that dude because we never really like bonded because he was like, he grew up in all white schools. And I'm coming from I don't really trust none of y'all kind of a mindset, right? Like, and this is the very first time that I started to be like my dad and have protests because when it came time to do the stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, nope. Yo, I was that kid in third grade, like, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And so it wasn't like in a mean way, but just more like I'm not gonna put my hand over the chest. Look, I'll stand up for y'all. I'm not gonna sit down and disrespect you, but I'm not gonna do it. And they was like, man, what is this kid doing? But you know what? That was my identity at the time. And being in an all-white school, I was very, very alone. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, when I look back at a school clipping from a play, right? We did Old Christmas Tree. Remember that? Yeah. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, some, right there. But I'll never forget, I had to play an actual tree. I'm a tree, so on the stage, I love the clip so much because, again, this is Bronxville, it's all white people, and in the cast, first of all, you see us two Black kids playing trees, just being quiet, nothing to say. But my name, it was very proudly displayed in this clipping with all these like Lisas and Karas and then Jabulani, El Amin there. I was like, oh yeah. So for me, it was like an early sign of rebellion, you know, growing up in an all-white school. So, you know, I know what you mean. I moved on to other schools where actually I became a little self-conscious leaving white schools. So I went from white schools to like then I went to a half Black and half white school, right? Still a private school. This was in Mount Vernon, and it had more Black kids, but it was still a Lutheran school. We had a white teacher and all white principals and everything. And they were good people. Don't get me wrong, just because I'm identifying them as white. But it was more like, because I had the Black kids around me now, I was like, oh, I feel comfortable. And that's when I started fucking up. Because, you know, it was like, now that, you know, I was around some people like myself, the other thing was the kids that are on my block who were not going to private schools like me, they were out fucking up big time. And here I am going across town to be around either the white kids or mostly white kids, and so I felt like I needed to compensate for that. So I ended up getting myself in all kind of trouble to be, like you said, you're not gonna out fuck up me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to be the biggest fuck up possible, which actually brought my ass to California. But we're not gonna go into that. But what I do want to talk about though is Kanye.
Yeah.
So, everybody talks about the obvious stuff, his feelings on Jews and the latest stuff with Hitler. But, I'm starting to wonder a few things about him. Is he an actual genius? Yeah, now check this out. So, he's digging such a hole for himself right now. He's preparing himself for the biggest comeback ever. Am I right?
Right.
Because we love Kanye's music, right? And the thing about Kanye right now is he has only said things, which means you can roll that back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as far down the rabbit hole as he has gone, man, he can still come up like, hey, you know what? Yo, my bad. These meds, I didn't read the fine print. See, it says don't drink alcohol. I was like, I thought it meant not much alcohol, and I figured I could just take something else. So, hey, y'all, my bad. So let me roll back, starting with, so I don't like Hitler. The Jews are cool. He can roll all that back.
Right.
And then come up with a whole new album, and then he'd be like, I don't know what a Jewish Jesus walk would be, but he can come out with a Jewish Jesus walk song, and I'm like, oh! And then all the people who like on the border, he'd be like, that is kind of fly though. Then he's gonna have Drake with him again. You know what I'm saying? So, he's preparing himself for a great comeback because, how bad can it be if you are only saying things? He didn't hurt nobody. He didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. And another thing I was thinking about too, I was like, what's it like to be Kanye today? The producer. Because I'm like, you've done music for a while. Everybody wants a Kanye beat. I'm like, are Kanye beats cheap now? Because I'm like, he didn't lose his talent. And I know someone like Kanye probably got like 1,000 beats on his deck someplace. So I'm like, is this like a 2-for-1 time, like Howard and Kanye? Because, with the right beat, you can be a star. And I'm like, I'll write some lyrics. I'll figure something out if I can get a Kanye beat. So I think we got the biggest comeback on deck for Kanye. So we're going to see. Anyway, I'm Cool Ass Mike, COOLASSMIKE. Go check me out. Thank you, Johnny, for tonight. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Love it, man.